Good morning, everybody. Pastor Don with Thursby on Thursday. As far as I know, we're on a sign, so we are good to go. So here it is. You know that old story, I've got good news and bad news. Let's start with the bad news. As you may be aware from local media, radio, and TV, unfortunately, San Bernardino County did not make muster on the COVID statistics, which means that there will be a delay in moving from purple to red. The earliest now that they are talking about where we may be eligible for such a jump to open up and actually have the sanctuary at least partway open officially is mid-October. I'm sorry about that. It looked awfully promising a week ago, but that's where we are at this point. So look for us to remain primarily online in terms of what is going on. That being said, here's some good news. As you may have heard through the grapevine, we are going to be upgrading the cooling system over at Little School of the Desert. It is needed. The session, through a recent piece of money that came in, is going to be able to cover that cost, and it is going to happen as soon as it can be worked out. And that is for the benefit of the kids and the teachers. And as you all know, the history of Little Church has been to be supportive of the welfare of the staff and the children above and beyond everything else, which is as it should be. Sorry about that. Life never stops. Anyway, as part of that, Little School, as has been their practice, wants to do something towards that end, and so they are going to be holding popcorn sales. You could say it is to help cool the school campaign. At the church office, there are sheets of paper where you can take and make orders for popcorn. The popcorn ranges from $8 to $15 per bag. There, I believe, were 5 varieties. I think there's even a 5-bag gift box you can get for $44 if you want to do that. Orders and money must be in by the 30th of October, so if you're interested, just come into the church office, sign up, leave your money, and we'll see to it that it gets to Little School by the end of this month. Believe it or not, it is October. Now, more important, there will be a trunk or treat event this year, Saturday, October 31st, Halloween, from 10 a.m. to noon in the Little School parking lot. For those of you who may be concerned about the safety of it, we wrestled with this. We have consulted state, county, and local authorities to make sure that this is a workable possibility. If you're not aware, San Bernardino County actually has guidelines out for how to safely and appropriately do a trunk or treat in the county. So we have exceeded those guidelines in our preparations. All we encourage you to do is to wear masks if you're coming, use appropriate spacing, which we will be watching out for very carefully, so that the children will be able to celebrate some piece of Halloween and have some memories to put towards the future. As part of that, since the cat is out of the bag that there is going to be one, we recognize that there's a likelihood we're going to need a pretty good supply of candy. Now, the candy needs to be pre-wrapped, but if you would like to help out with that, if you could drop it off at Little School, or maybe more appropriately at the church office, one or the other between now and Halloween, any extra candy we can have to hand out to kids would be greatly appreciated. And we thank you in advance. I know the kids are going to have a lot of fun. And those of us who will be doing some of the hosting are getting excited and looking forward to the possibility as well. Reminder, this Sunday is World Communion Sunday. Keep that in mind as we come to the Lord's table. We are not alone in this world. We are not just here in the high desert. We are in this country. We are all over North America. There are Christians all over the world who, even when we gather on Sunday morning, will be sharing that time in their own places, their own language and customs, being faithful to Christ and celebrating our oneness as part of his body. So please keep that in mind as you do your communion preparations, and we hope to share that with you, especially in the online context. Last but not least, sermon teaser for Sunday. We are looking at Matthew 21, the end of the chapter, and also 1 Peter, the second chapter, having to do with stones. Now, my sermon title is Stoned, and I realize that here in California, that word carries its own special meaning. What I want you to consider as we look to Sunday is what Jesus may mean by it, because in the reading, there's a reference about being stoned or stoning. And then in 1 Peter 2, it talks about stones, the stone being rejected, and us being built up into living stones. Think about those in relation to being part of the body of Christ as we come to our World Communion celebration. With that, I hope you have a good rest of the week. God bless each and every one of you. Continue to lift you up, keep you safe. How was it? I heard it the other day. Well, it's not coming, so if I think of it, I'll share it with you next week. Anyway, in the meantime, God bless each of you. Take care. Have a good one. Bye now. Well, whether it's done or not, it ended.